we have, population growth, continued urbanization, rural to urban migration, environmental degradation, and so on. And then there's also the problem of inconsistent water supply, which negatively impacts our communities as well as the business models of housing developments and construction companies. If you add to this, limited financing is an issue and an uncertain business case for water adaptation. These are some of the barriers that we find currently with the uptake of water efficient measures, both by retailers and general housing development sector. And if we take a closer look at the construction sector, it is a key contributor to Jamaica's development. So the sector's main components include residential construction, schools, hotels, offices, regular housing, infrastructural programs, and so on. And it contributes a significant proportion of Jamaica's GDP and employment. And over, the last few years, there's been a real growth in terms of the number of jobs offered in the housing sector. So it's an area that's really ready for this kind of intervention. In 2014, an acclimatized financial market analysis report stated that there was little evidence in the use of water adaptation technologies in housing construction in Jamaica. Whilst we have a pattern of using energy-saving projects related to the construction sector, we weren't focusing on water efficiency at all. And developers and construction companies are currently managing this inconsistency of water supply by incorporating very basic things like water storage tanks, pumps, and piping. But that really is, within that, there is no water harvesting or anything like that. These are either in the form of, as I said, the community tanks, water storage tanks, and that's about it. So the examples of other water adaptation technologies currently being used include water-efficient tap shower heads and toilets. But again, these are minimal in new developments, and there is no real consistency across the board. And while water storage is considered industry standard, other water-efficient technologies are generally not routinely integrated. Next slide, please. So the project comprises two main components. One is a loan agreement, and the second is a technical cooperation agreement. The loan component, which is going to be administered by the Jamaica National Bank, is funded by the Pilot Program for Climate Resilience through the IDB. And this involves the on-lending of funds for the integration of water adaptation measures in Jamaican housing. The other component, which makes this really interesting, is a technical cooperation component, which is being administered by the JN Foundation and is funded by the Pro-Adapt facility of the Multilateral Investment Fund, with counterpart resources being provided by the JN Foundation. And this aspect of the project has four subcomponents. One is to demonstrate the business case for water efficiency for developers and construction companies, and the financial case for water adaptation in households. The second is to build local capacity to design and install water adaptation measures. The third objective is to support a climate resilience entrepreneurship program. And this is really about how you spur innovation and solutions within the local economy to respond quite quickly to the specific climate resilience and climate change needs that we have here in Jamaica, and to raise awareness of the threats of climate change and the related opportunities presented for water efficiency by local businesses, our financial institutions, and the government of Jamaica. This intervention is the first of its kind. Next slide, please. Yeah, sorry. This intervention is the first of its kind globally with regard to the engagement of the private sector by the PPCR to resolve issues related to climate vulnerability. We believe that the model has a high potential for upscaling and replication across Latin America, the Caribbean, and other small island and developing states facing similar challenges to water security. The project expects to affect changes in the behavior of market participants in Jamaica with respect to lending, with respect to borrowing, with respect to purchasing and installing water-efficient solutions in residential homes. And it's also expected to generate business opportunities for local suppliers of water-efficient products and services, while lowering water costs to homeowners and improving water security in Jamaica. So currently, we are fulfilling the conditions prior to first disbursement and will soon be in a position to share experiences and lessons learned during the execution phase. So we look forward to being able to come back within the next sort of 18 months to really showcase what the uptake has been and what the responses have been. We're also going to be doing a lot of work in terms of working with the training providers here who deliver training on things to do with plumbing and electrical work and that sort of stuff. So we're really also going to raise the capacity of the training bodies here to provide training in one, water adaptation technology and installation, but in overall sort of climate resilience installation. So last slide. So that's it from here in Jamaica, where we're very lucky to be not getting hit by any of these hurricanes at the moment. So yeah, thank you.
Great, thanks, Saffrey.